Trades are finally back! Exciting pet mutations? What incredible new features will be added in the very next major update of Grow a Garden? Friends, I am in an incredibly good mood today because the highly anticipated trades have been officially brought back to Grow a Garden, and this is truly wonderful news. So guys, I'm gonna test it out now. Well, to be precise, trades with pets have been brought back. So guys, let's test it right now. We go up to my character and press E, and the trade has started. So I can just click accept, and that's it. And guys, what did it just say to me here? Some message popped up saying trade completed, so I can get everything back for myself again. And your trade is processed. Oh, it says here basically your trade is in process, but there are some delays. I'll explain about that a bit later. But guys, I'd like to share some leaks with you. First of all, about the situation that's happening right now in Grow a Garden, the future of Grow a Garden, and a lot more that I want to talk about in this video. So make sure to watch from start to finish because there's a ton of content. But let's go back, well, not go back actually, but start with the fact that the developer Jandel has officially made a lot of statements about the future of Grow a Garden, about making the updates even bigger and more interesting for the audience. Not bigger, but more interesting for the audience, because a lot of people really hated these recent updates. Well, the last 3 or 4 updates that came out, people hated them. They didn't like these updates. I don't know why, even though this update is actually pretty cool. But the developers decided to make it so that you can vote inside the game. I'll talk a bit more about that later. Right now, I just want to tell you about a long post from the developer, already translated, and show you exactly what he wants to say to us.
I want to start this message off by saying, we have bought back pet gifting. The community may ask, why did this take so long? Even though it seems simple on the surface, we actually had to completely rewrite our data backend to bring back pet gifting. People were using an exploit to dupe pets, and we believe we have fixed that now. The good news is that this was the work that was required to allow for trading, so trading should be ready to go very soon. Perhaps next week, or the week after.
Let me say right away, guys, just to clarify, I'll tell you about trades later. Now I want to talk about what exactly an exploit like this means and what pet scamming and similar things are. Guys, basically pets were being duped really badly. Duping is when they were duplicated and so on. In other words, this was done using some pretty hacker-like methods, and that means the game's economy could have taken a serious hit. That's why the developers disabled pet trading to fix these duping bugs. Well, maybe these dupes were directly related to trading, which is probably why they turned it off. And because of this, the developers want to introduce official trades, which I'll show a bit later. Or maybe you're seeing a concept of these trades on your screen right now. This is actually pretty good because these trades will allow people to exchange items safely, and trades in general have always been the safest in terms of exploits. Of course, there are still some gaps, but I hope the developers will fix them, since, let me remind you, there are now 13 developers working on the team. And maybe by the time this video comes out, there will be even more, because before it was just Jandel and his friend working on it, but now there are already 13 developers, each of whom can share some interesting information with us. So guys, right now, honestly, I don't even know what to expect. Let's keep reading his post, because there are even more interesting things ahead. And then we'll check out his TikTok, and after that, we'll look at all the major leaks. So guys, let's go.
The next part of this message is a note to the community. A lot of people have been critical of the last few updates we have produced, saying they felt lower quality, rushed and not very inspired. We always welcome criticism on our updates, and we feel like we do a good job of making changes for the community. A lot of people keep asking for the same events like Easter, an hourly shop, the bee event, or the hungry plant. These were all great events that people loved, and we will definitely bring back that style of event soon. But we are always trying to bring something fresh each week to the game. So sometimes it's hard to always bring great and fresh events, but part of the reason we like to try new things is in case we find another great event format for everyone.
Guys, in case you didn't get it, I know there's a lot of text. If you didn't understand, I'll break it down for you in more detail now. So now I'm going to explain it to you. Basically, people really liked Easter, and people really liked, it turns out, the wild plant. That event, the one with the wild plant, it was located right here, and we had to feed it fruit. And what else did a lot of people like about it? Bees. A lot of people really liked the bees, and I did too, honestly. And the developers want to return to that kind of concept, basically the concept of these kinds of events. Events are activities or events, in other words, for those who still haven't understood. So they want to make similar events, not exactly the same, but conceptually similar. Honestly, I don't really want that, because I want the events to always be much more, well, really new, completely new. That is, I don't want them to be something from old events. I've never wanted that. For example, I used to play Toilet Brother 2, and there the events were always the same type. Every event was similar. Sometimes they'd add something, sometimes they just add a new map and that's it. I wouldn't want to see the same thing here because it could actually make the game worse. If they added something truly new, it would be much better and more interesting. So, what else do they want to do? Let's read on.
One idea I have had is introducing a community voting feature, where the community votes on the next update idea. Maybe this is a crazy money mouth face I read the Starbird every day to gouge community feedback. I will try do a better job of commenting on them. We aren't looking for sympathy, we think we have dropped the ball on the last few updates. Since Grow a Garden has grown so fast, we have had to expand our team size, We recently created a new team to create events so that we have more than 1 week to create an event. We hope that having 2 teams working on different events gives us more time to polish and create things that are unique and more time to work on cool new features. I think our admin abuse last week sucked, so I will try make that up to everyone as well.
Simply put, he's apologizing to everyone and just wants to share something else which I'm about to tell you. You're gonna be totally shocked by this, I think.
That brings me to my last point. This weekend we are going to introduce a new feature to the game Pet Mutations.
So, dear friends, there will be a separate mutated vehicle. I'll explain and show you in more detail because there are already some leaks out there. So guys, at the very least, leave a like for the fact that I managed to find such major leaks. And not only will I show you, but I'll also explain in detail how the pet mutation system will work.
This is a machine you can put your level 100 pet into and get unique mutations, with passives, buffs and cosmetics. And don't worry before you ask. We are adding craftable and buyable gear shop XP boosts so that you can get your pet to level 100.
Basically, they're abandoning the age system. Maybe not. The age might stay, but they're adding a new system specifically, experience. And we'll be able to get this experience in the gear shop. We'll either buy some kind of XP items to use on our pets or something similar. And then once the pet reaches level 100, we'll be able to mutate them. Either I misunderstood or we'll go over all of this in more detail together later. Guys, I just told you exactly what the developer wrote, but I'm going to show it to you. But I'd like to mention that the developers want to introduce something. I'm not sure why it's not mentioned in this message. Maybe they deleted the text they had, or maybe I just read it wrong. So basically, guys, what they wanted, Jandel wrote about this, they wanted to add a special board where you can vote on which update you want, or, well, vote for any idea you have. So either this will be in the Discord channel or it will be inside the game. That would actually be pretty cool. So we could vote together on which update comes next. And honestly, it would be awesome just to see what we'll get in the next update. But now let's move on to TikTok itself. Just wanted to mention real quick that right now pet trading is really slow. So guys, I'm not sure why it's so slow, but in some cases a pet trade can even take a whole minute. As the developers recommend that you just wait and not leave the game, because sometimes these issues can be caused by some kind of problem in their script or something like that.
Do you guys want to see a leak? A leak on the update? Huh? You want to see it? Check it out. Oh my goodness. My garden's growing. Oh, not a... oh. What? Pet mutations. It's broken right now, but they're coming. They're coming. And this guy, I gotta fix this because he's saying too much, but look at this. Uh-oh. Show me the egg shop. Whoa! Now you can see all the available eggs to buy! Yippee!
Specifically showing us the new machine for this pet, and he put a golden butterfly in there, which creates a golden mutation. So that means we'll have a separate machine just for mutations. That's just OP. So see for yourselves. Mutation machine, that's it. He added it and showed it to us, and it's going to be in this update. I hope it'll be permanent, but here, just for a moment, there's a bone, and maybe it'll only be for the event. I hope they add it permanently, because while pet mutation is a really good system, it would be cool. Also, about the eggs. Now, finally, you can buy them not just from some big shop, but we can actually use the interface here, proper egg interface. You can also see how much this is worth, meaning you can check how much it costs here. Older, show me pet info. Show me information about the pet. Basically, he added a lot of different features here, but he wants to remove them in this, basically, TikTok. He's showing us basically the egg shop, and this is more or less what it looks like. It's basically the same stock as in the seed shop, so that's pretty much how it all turns out. Guys, so you got it right. This will be a machine that's located right here, and our pet egg will get a bit smaller. So guys, crafting will become much more difficult for us. So what is this, a red fox? Well, let's buy it. Why not, guys? So this is the kind of update we're getting, and now I'll just show you some concepts according to what this developer said. So what kind of real concepts could we theoretically have? Although there aren't really any concepts since the developer has already leaked everything that's here. So we'll actually have a separate mutation machine, we'll have, well, pet trades have already been brought back, and we'll also have voting. But it's possible, though not certain, that this won't be on the board itself. Maybe it'll be on their official Discord server. Well, guys, for more information, of course, you can follow my Telegram channel. Link is in the description. And now we'll move on to the concepts, and maybe some of them will actually be added. Someone is suggesting to make a machine for crafting up to the weather. So basically, we'd be able to craft the weather thanks to all these different crafting recipes. But to me, this idea seems kind of ridiculous. After all, how can you control the weather if it just happens on its own? This person also made this thing here, which is usually, what's it called again? It's, well, basically, when they measure the weather, I don't know what it's called, but a weather station, I think, or something like that. So in short, we'd make some kind of super advanced weather station, but honestly, I don't think there's any need to add this at all. Here's what someone made out of decorations. It actually looks really cool, honestly, like something really impressive. And seriously, how could someone even come up with this? I would never have thought of or made something like this in my life. Next, this person suggests some kind of alternative to the candy blossom, I think. This is what it looks like. I don't know if it's good or not. Well, damn. At the very least, it looks beautiful. But as for the mustets, the price I'm not sure about. They're offering this thing. I don't know how much it weighs. Maybe 1 kilogram, 250,000, but that's just way too much. That's just ultra over the top. That would break the economy instantly. They're suggesting making a pet like this, which would be divine. And this is basically what it looks like. So this is how it looks, but they haven't really described in detail what this pet can do. But I assume it does the alien mutation, meaning just the alien mutation. That would be pretty cool too. Also, some people want the developers to make some kind of ocean update where there would actually be real fish. I'm waiting for them to do that, and then we'll be able to fish somehow. I just don't know how we'd actually catch those fish, like in Fish Cow or something. I just don't know what kind of system they'd come up with, but it would be perfect. Here, this person showed all these concepts in great detail. Just look at this Kraken core. What is that? Take a look. Seriously. These are some kind of seaweeds. I don't really know how they would grow here, but it would be perfect if they were in the water. It would be cool if they made a separate thing where there was water and we could place these plants there. They also added something similar in this update, but here, it was added here as well. Some kind of stone. Honestly, I don't know how a stone can grow. I can imagine how these corals might grow, but definitely not a stone. That's just an absurd idea. Although somehow even these little bones grow here. So... guys, all right, we can add this too, and stones could be added as well, because guys, our bones grow out of the ground. How are we even supposed to understand that? Here's a shark like this, a little shark here, a little shark. Just look, there's only a 5% chance for a shark. Man, it really would have been a cool pet if it didn't fly around, or however it works, or if it stayed in the water a bit, I don't know. Anyway, it would be interesting to see how the developers would implement it. Jellyfish, so like a little jellyfish. Well, look, that would be cool. It would be cool if it moved its little legs like this, or I don't know, its tentacles. That would be perfect. Like, it would give you a little hug. This is a seahorse. It would also be perfect to see it. I wonder what kind of mutations they would make. Write in the comments what mutations you'd like to see on these pets. But it looks cool. Someone is suggesting that we add scales to the stock gear shop. What would they do? It would show the weight of the fruits before you pick them. So it's basically the same as the magnifying glass, except the magnifying glass shows the price, and here it would show the fruit, well, the weight of the fruit. And again, you'd use it. I don't know if this thing would be used for or not. Honestly, I probably wouldn't use it myself, but it would still be cool to see, because if there was a really big plant, I'd want to check its weight. And here it is, guys. The long-awaited trade concept. Just take a look. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. It really does. There are also other concepts out there. If I find them, I'll definitely show them to you. Here's another version of the trade system. This one is also more familiar to us. You can, for example, put pets and similar things up for trade. It would honestly be really cool to see something like that too. I mean, seeing the whole concept of trades in general would be perfect. So guys, while I was talking, it already got dark outside and it's time to wrap up the video because it really turned out to be quite informative. I think actually, I don't just think, I know that this is some really big news and that this update will be the biggest one ever in this game. And, well, the fact that they're adding mutations, these mutations are, well, comparable to when they first added pets to the game. I mean, it's honestly almost on the same level because mutations for beds are insanely overpowered. Maybe they'll tone it down a bit, or maybe they'll add even more mutations or something else. Or, well, maybe there will be some chances, like it can trigger again in one go, I don't know. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And of course, don't forget about the giveaway for the Mimic. Let's get 1,000 likes, and I'll do it on my Telegram channel. So go for it. Good luck to everyone, and bye-bye.